Since we know how to assign material for the first element of the rendering, then we'll go now for UV mapping for the texture. UV mapping is the process of mapping a 2D image on a 3D shape. So first let's talk about the name UV. In Unity, any object or game object is sitting in the space of Unity, which we are specifying it using the coordination system XYZ. We have X direction, Y direction, Z direction. So if I say there is one point in Unity 0, 1, 1, then it will be 0 in X coordinate, 1 in Y coordinate, and it will be 1 in Z coordinate. It's understood. Now, we need also same system to apply for image, so we want to know if a point where its location in the image. So instead of saying XY coordination for image and XYZ for Unity space coordination for game object, so to avoid keep saying XYZ, XY and make this duplication in the talk, then we assign different name for the axis for the image. So any image, when we want to use it, we'll put it in a coordination system. The horizontal axis will call it U, and the vertical axis will call it V. So if I say this point in the image, B2 for example here, it will be 1, 1. 1 on the U axis, which is mean X axis basically, or the horizontal axis, and 1 in the vertical axis, which is V axis in this case. So whenever we want to make reference in an image, instead of you saying XY coordination, we'll call it UV coordination, which is basically the same concept. So let's say we have a quad mesh on the right side and we have texture image on the left side. Now we want to stick the left image on the quad on the right side. So what we have to do, we have to bring the point 0 in the image and stick it over the point 0 on the quad, and point 1 over point 1, point 2 over point 2, and point 3 over 3. So the coordination 0, 0 in the UV axis, we have to use it over the point 0, 0, 0 in the XYZ. And the point B1, which is 0, 1 in the UV coordination, we are going to use it for the point P1 in the XYZ, the vertex is 1. Now, the point 2, which is 1, 1 in the UV axis, we are going to use it for point 2 in the XYZ axis, and B3 over B3. And this is what we are going to make in very simple. Each point in the UV, we will assign it a point in the texture. So the image from texture will be shifted to the point on our mesh. Let's see here a 3D example. Here we have a Blender 3D software. In Blender here we have two simple 3D shape, one box and one cylinder. Let's see how we are going to stick the texture on this item or this object. If we go for UV editing, in UV editing for the cube, you can see the cube. We are taking each vertex in the cube and we distribute it in the image. So each part of the image will be stick in the cube in proper shape. So for example, if we make some texturing coloring here, let's say this is our image and we are right in this side, number 1. And let's say this side will take number 2, side number 3, side number 4, and here number 5, and finally this is number 6. Now let's see our cube, what happened in it. You'll find this side take number 1, this is take number 2, now this one take number 3, and number 4, number 5, number 6. And this image, basically we can save it. Now this image inside Blender, we have like image painter, we can write in the image directly. So this image, it's a square, and now you can see we write in the image, each part we write in the image, it's go direct in the cube. Now how Blender know each part where go? Through the vertices. You can see here we have some borders. This border is the connection between the vertices and the point in the UV. Here, this is the UV, this is the U axis and the V axis, and each point in the UV, it have representation in the mesh axis as vertices. So each vertices have location in the UV, and UV is connected to our location in the vertices. So let's say if this is we have here number 6, this vertices, let's call it 1, 2, 3, 4, for example. Then you will find it's connected here 1, 2, 3, 4 as point in the UV system. So it will take the image of the number 6 and stick it in the image of the cube. Let's take another example. We have here cylinder, and in the left side you can see the UV coordination. We have the point. Now the cylinder is divided for the side in rectangle shape, and the top bottom, these two circles representing it. If we actually going for UV edit, let's do one thing. These faces, if we select one face, you can see this face is determine the UV coordinate with this circle. Now if we go this side, this side, this side, each side have representation in UV, so a Unity or a Blender in this case can understand where to transfer the part of this photo to this part in the 3D. So this is how is UV basically working. It will have coordination in the UV or in the image, and it's moved to its relative coordination in the vertices. So if we select all and we go for texture paint, let's make some painting again. Okay, if we draw here D and here T in the top and the bottom. Now if we look, this is the D letter and this is the T letter. And this is the main concept of the UV and the axis and the XY axis in the space. We transfer by assigning point in the UV space, and it will be assigned to a vertices in the 3D space of the Unity. So Unity can understand how to shift the photo for the 3D space. Now let's go for the code at Unity. If we understand the principle, then the balance work is easy. Now, here in the code, we have to assign for each vertices point and a point in the UV coordination. So, where we here, let's start by define the variables. Here we assign, first of all, we create a vector3 array for vertices. Now, because vector3, because it is a 3D space XYZ. Now, in UV space, texture space, here we have UV, so we have two axes. Then we need vector2 array, and we will call it UVs. Now, under our vertices, we will identify our UVs, and it will be in the same way, new vector2 array, and open for elements, adding element. Now we have a new vector2 and let's copy this. Now in vector3 we have 1, 2, 3, 4 vertices, so we should have 1, 2, 3, 4 vector2 for UVs. Same number always. The number of vertices and the number of UVs should be always matching. Now, for the point 0, 0, 0 in the XYZ, we will assign the point 0, 0 in the UV coordination, as we discussed previously. And for vector 3, 0, 1, we will assign the point 0, 1. For 1, 1, we'll assign 1, 1. And for vector 2, last point to the fourth point, 1, 0, we will assign 1, 0 point at UV. And same we assign for our mesh the vertices and indices, we need to assign for our mesh the UVs. So it will be equal UVs. So let's save our code. At the end, if you like the video, press subscribe and turn on the bell, and don't forget to share your opinion below in the comments.